What's up, y'all? This is your amazing host, Bree Bethencourt, with season 2 of Dear Future Husband. That's right. You heard me, y'all. We are coming back for season 2. Did you miss me? I miss y'all. So, we're going to get right into it, y'all. We are talking with Selena and Raymond today, and we're going to title this Dear Future Husband. You mean the world to me?
Me against the world.
Me and you against the world. I forgot my own stuff. Don't judge me. We back. Okay? So, Dear Future Husband, it's me and you against the world. Y'all ready? Let's go. What's up, y'all?
Hey.
Not much. We good. Thanks for having
Good morning. Of course. Thank you for being here, first of all, right?
Oh, man, absolutely.
And for being part of the Dear Future Husband, you know what I'm saying? Legendary show. I appreciate y'all.
We made it now. Mama, we made it.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
That's the type of spirit. You see that
There
spirit?
it is.
You see
Yeah, I'm working.
You're working on it?
Working on it.
That's the type of spirit I'm talking about. So, y'all, Dear Future Husband, it's me and you against the world. I was telling you guys before we started recording that in real life, we are friends, right? And so I get to see how you guys operate on just a regular day-to-day basis. And I had to have you guys on here because I just feel like people need to see this, right? Dear Future Husband is a show about real people, real love, real talk, right? And so I wanted to showcase y'all's relationship, not because it's perfect,
Right.
but because I see y'all working at it day in and day out. Is that, would you say that's safe to say?
Yeah.
Accurate.
Yeah.
Very
Okay.
accurate.
Okay. So I want to jump right into it. How long y'all been married?
We have been married 11 years now.
Because he has months and days and,
Oh,
Okay.
normally I'll break it down to the day, the
Okay.
exact time of the day, but for the show, it's been
To tone it down a little bit.
Yeah, 11 years. Yeah, I don't want to show up too much.
Okay. 11 years.
Yeah.
Listen, and that's no small feat, right? Especially in today's times. 11 years is dope. So first of all, congratulations on that.
Thank you.
I love it. So you've been married for 11 years. How did y'all meet?
Ooh, boy. Can I tell the story?
Tell it.
You ready? Okay.
The truth and the whole truth, baby.
So the reality is, we've been married, of course, yes, for 11 years. But we actually met each other well over 20-some odd years ago.
Nice.
I have a what I call friend / family member, or friend who became a family member. Let's say that. And I was in the military, and I came here to visit on leave, and I actually. My sister / friend was having a pool party. Okay. And so I'm just going to the pool. It's summertime. I'm going to the pool parties to hang out, single guy chilling. And that's when I first saw Selena. Okay. So we met briefly. It was someone I, keeping it 100. Wanted to try out. Never came to anything. Okay. So we met, thought she was cute, thought she's beautiful, walked on, continued living my life. She continued to live hers. Years have passed because I think this visit, I want to say we actually met somewhere between 95, 97 time frame. Okay. And whenever I would come home on leave, we would see each other because she'd always be at family functions. Okay. Now, of course, during a lot of that time, she was already married, so nothing trying to do anything behind anyone's back. But I got back here, stationed here in 2007. And we went to a dinner, I believe.
We had some... the same friend, which is my best friend at the time, and his best friend at the time were siblings. Oh, okay. So that's really how we met at Marble Tree Apartments. Shout out to Marble Tree Apartments.
Not Marble Tree Apartments, baby. Okay,
by the pool. That's where I would think he saw and liked my personality, but really it was a 2-piece summer. So, come
on, 2-piece
at the time. So So we went on about our life, right? Yeah. And so when he got stationed back, she called me, and just in general, she was like, well, we're going to go out to some happy hour and we'll, hang out later. And she somehow she made a point to say, Ray's coming. I don't know, just randomly. I'm like, okay, So we went, at the time, the Martini Bar back in the day. They had the best martinis. Did that, then went to a club afterwards. I think one of the things that was endearing for me is like he just had the best smile. Aww. And he was seen very kind. Yes. And and then after this vibing, I just in my mind I was like, I'm gonna ask him to lunch or something. So I called him out the blue one day. I had no idea it was the same day as Texas OU football game. And
So we don't keep up with that. We don't know.
Yeah, I got
I do.
stuff to
Yeah.
do.
Oh.
At the time, I didn't realize like he's a huge fan.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that he went to lunch with me
Mm-hmm.
that day, PF Chang, shout out to PF Chang. So
Wow. Okay.
and it was the longest date. It was like a 12-hour date.
Wow.
We went to lunch. We went to the movies.
Yeah.
We ate again, you know. And
I mean, clearly it was time for another
clearly
meal.
it was
Right.
another day. With the church the next morning, it was a whole thing,
Mhm.
right? And so, but looking back now, I can really tell at the time he really was truly interested. When I see how he is now about
Mhm.
sports, I'm like, oh, you really did like me because you mean
You interrupted that to
I
come
interrupted that. I did not
holler at
know.
me.
Yeah.
Okay. And then at that point, after PF Chang's and all of that, and the double dates,
Mhm.
what were y'all
Yeah.
connected to the hips at that point?
Pretty
Or?
much.
Yeah.
I think it took maybe a few weeks, because I know the OU game is always at the beginning of October. So I would say by the end of that month, I had to fly to San Diego for some training.
Mm-hmm.
I think when I got back from San Diego, it was more like having a conversation like, are we going to make this official? We're going to post it. We're going to date.
Oh, you didn't wait long.
Not really. And the thing is, see, we already knew each other.
Mhm.
And we already knew each other's situation, you know, and I didn't want to push because, you know, so everybody's clear at the time, she was going through her divorce.
Okay.
So that was already in there. So we already knew that. So, so we kind of just let things, you know, roll as they may. And next thing you know, I mean, you look back now, there was days we were apart because I had to go somewhere, but we always talked every day since then. And it just grew from there. And we just let it flow
Yeah.
naturally. So,
Yeah.
and I wasn't, you know, being stationed here and knowing that I'd been in the military for so long single, it was about time anyway. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? And of course, it's someone I knew, someone my family knew. We already had the closest
Okay.
friends. So it was kind of easy
Yeah.
to go into that situation.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it wasn't that long after PF Chang's. I ain't gonna let that go. I ain't gonna let PF Chang's go.
Right.
So after PF Chang's, that y'all became a couple,
Right.
officially a
Pretty
couple,
much,
and
pretty
then
much, yeah.
how long would you say then from there until marriage?
So marriage, so that was 2007. That was October 2007.
Okay.
See how he is
We
about
Girl,
that.
he-
basically,
you good.
yeah, we basically just like I said, we dated for a while. Well, and then we stayed with each other for a while because she was out of her marriage, so she
Mhm.
wouldn't got.
Well, let me take a step back.
Okay.
So we dating, right?
Mhm.
He in the process of building a house.
I was gonna say that. Yeah, go ahead.
All right. Oh, see,
You got it.
about the story. See, anyway,
Okay.
so, but so I think just to be super transparent, just the way he was, like he constantly called me, like to check on me,
Consistent.
like, yeah, really just to kind of check on me.
Mm-hmm.
And that was just with me, it was just certain things. I was like, I'm just gonna wait. This dude ain't real.
Mm-hmm.
He about to mess up.
Mhm.
I was,
Mm-hmm.
I had a bit in my own head, but he was just consistently consistent
Mm-hmm.
and kind.
Mhm.
And then like masculine, but still sensitive.
Okay.
He was raised by like women,
Okay.
like strong women. And so I just feel like that's part of his superpower is like really like being very intentional around how you're feeling.
Your
Or what he
feelings.
thinks you're
Yes.
feeling.
Yes.
And then even when you don't really want to talk, he's still gonna ask you anyway, for the record,
Mhm.
how you doing?
Mhm.
And I'm like, am I right? You know,
Fight.
fight or flight, right?
Right.
So, you just gotta be careful around like what you are bringing in your psychological makeup
Yes.
into a situation.
Yes.
Because we tend to just, even though it's maybe dysfunctional, we tend to lean into that.
Mm-hmm.
And so I try to be really mindful, like that he's asking me because he wants to know.
And I think that out of everything that, because you and I talk, right?
Mhm.
Outside of this, we really do have conversations about relationships and about, a host of other things, but about relationships as well. And I like that you are very mindful, like what makes him tick, what doesn't make him tick. You know what I'm saying? What his likes and dislikes are. You even know how he gonna react to certain situations.
Mhm.
And I think that is so dope. Are you pretty much the same way? You know what makes her tick, what doesn't make her
Yeah,
tick?
because
Okay.
I mean that's one of the big things about being in. I won't just use the word married. Just being in a relationship, period,
Mhm.
is actually listening.
Yeah.
That's big for some folks because some
Yeah.
folks just listen so they can talk.
Yes.
I actually take the time to listen because I want to hear what you got to say.
You want to understand.
Good, understand good or bad, but I want to make sure I'm clear before I respond.
Mm-hmm.
I clearly understand what you're saying,
Mm-hmm.
you know, so I'm in tune with that. Like, you know, and I think we kind of growed over years to be in tune with one another. What makes her tick, what makes her feel good, vice versa. You know, we both have differences. You know, we both have our flaws, what have you. She likes this, I like this, and so forth and so on. And then we just, you know, eventually we just make that work. But I'm very, very, intentional about listening, and also when I'm time to talk, make sure I get my point across so that she clearly understands. You know, and I'm always saying, hey, does that make sense? Does that make sense? And sometimes, does that make sense? Maybe come off as insulting. I don't mean that. I just want to make sure you understand where I'm coming from. Do you literally feel me? And I ask her, hey, what did I just say? And we kind of go back and forth. What did I just say? And then she'll say it, and I'm like, no, that's not what I. And I have to say it again. You know what I mean? And that's okay. We rumble about it every now and again, but as long as we know that we can clear up the air and get
at the end of the day,
solved, get it all solved.
Yes.
We're good.
I like what you said about, did you understand what I said?
Yeah.
Because I have been told. I didn't realize that people take that offensively.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't realize that. And so I'm saying, do you understand what I'm saying? Not because I think you're dumb or you're slow.
Yeah.
But because I don't know if I delivered it correctly. You know, not to mention, you know, I'm dealing with several things, right, in my head. Me personally. So I'm dealing with ADHD. So I'm 10 conversations ahead. So I don't know if I'm garbling up all these different conversations first and foremost. Right. Then I come culturally, I come from a different cultural background. So sometimes the words I'm saying is I'm pulling from Panamanian words that you don't even know. You American, right? Right. And so I say, do you understand me? Or did you understand? Did you understand that? And I didn't realize that was taken offensively. I'm really, truly trying to make sure that I delivered it correctly.
Everybody has a different perception,
right,
of certain words, of certain phrases, how you project those phrases. Yes. Everybody receives it different. That's like we can sit here and watch a movie, right? And I might get one story out of it. You had a completely different idea. You know, a lot of those cliffhangers that they leave. You wonder what happened next. We have different perceptions about it. So that's why I always make sure that I just want to make sure we're on the same page so that we can move forward. Because if we don't, we're gonna stay stuck.
Absolutely.
We can move on. We can move forward, but trust me,
it's
a problem that we didn't completely solve will always come back. You know,
because people like to brush things under the rug.
Yeah.
People like to. They don't want to discuss it, and they don't want the conflict. So we're just gonna pretend and pass over and pretend like it didn't happen. Right. I can't. I haven't got to the point where I can just gloss over things. I like it to be, at least let's come to an understanding some type of way, and then move on. You know, so again, like you said, it doesn't, because it's going to come back. It always does, right? But then that's perceived as being
confrontational or
aggressive or...
It depends.
Yeah, I think also it's the hearing and receiving. Like I will say, like, he's a really good communicator. Like, I think culturally, when it comes to like African American men, they're not really. People tend to like kind of, and we're indoctrinated into shying away from speaking through like what we're thinking and how we're feeling, especially men. Like women, you know, we got this whole different nurturing and village where it's like, well, I said what I said. You know, that's what I said. That's what I told. Right. But when it comes to men, they sometimes, they have all these thoughts in their mind. And if they don't speak on it, then it's going to come out in a different way later. And you were like, man, all I did was not turn on the dishwasher. I didn't know it was something else.
Deep. Right.
I know it's that deep.
Right.
Right. But I will say with Ray, he's a clear communicator. And I appreciate that. Because with me, sometimes I may have these thoughts and then I have to like sit back and think about how am I going to articulate that? You know, because we can get in our feelings. And then we got to say like, am I really mad at him or am I mad at my life?
About something else.
Right? Because what can he really support me in this? Like, what is it that I'm agitated about? So I will say he's a very good communicator. And that's one thing like we try to kind of push with our son, like, you have to speak, you know, you have to be clear, you have to be concise so we know what's going on. Right. And And that's just how he operates. He's a very good communicator.
I love that. I love that. And I love that it's you that's the good communicator, because that goes against what society tells. You know what I'm saying? It's supposed to be you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I like that it's you that's the clear communicator. And then again, you guys know your weaknesses and strengths within the relationships that you can work around those, play on those, or do whatever you need to do to push the relationship forward.
Yeah.
Also because I know y'all, I also know that you guys support each other really well. Like, I love the support that you give each other. And you're always there for each other and whatever you guys are, you know, whatever the next venture is, right? Was it always like that?
I would say yes. See, the way I see things, and it's kind of going back to an earlier question we asked as far as a time frame. And we talked briefly about the house and so forth and so on. Because even when I was building my first home, I had never bought a home before. At the time, she was doing real estate, so she encouraged me to do so. So I built the house. When they got done building the first house, I knew just by the way she supported me that it was too small. Because it was very small as we saw it. I wasn't trying to be bougie. It just we both didn't fit. So I told the folks, I don't want the house.
No, we were dating.
And we were just dating. But I knew at the time. So you
knew that what you wanted with her.
Yeah, so I told him, no, I don't want it. They got mad, of course. Gone about their business. They'd be fine. So I had them build me another one. So much so they had to go find a design that they were building somewhere else. They weren't building that neighborhood, but they built it for me anyway. So that we could have that room. Because I told her then, you know, look, if I stayed in that house, you won't fit. Right now you fit with me. So that's why we built something else. And that from that point, we started setting it. So back to that was 2009. So we were dating for 2 years, moved into each other 2009. And that's when we got engaged. Okay. And then get married until 3 years later. So,
I mean, I was real uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Why? Let's talk about it. Why?
What do you mean you're going to tell these people you're about to get another house? Like, you know, I'm always
she's uncomfortable with the people because she's in real estate.
I'm like, they going to keep you on the path. But in my mind, I'm like, he always operated, even when we was dating, like I was a priority. I'm like, I'm just a girlfriend. Ain't what you right? We about to go buy a whole new house. Don't do that. Don't
Not
do
for
that.
me.
Not for me.
Because I'm just a girlfriend.
In my mind, I'm just a girlfriend. Like, let's see. But because
he saw already. He knew.
But I was over there like, you know, I loved him. Don't get me wrong. I mean, and that's just how he's always moved. Like, this forever. All right, this forever. Right? Even every major thing when it comes to houses, I'm just like, so we really about to do this. Like his faith be on a, you know, you can be like, oh, I got faith. I believe. But how do you execute it? Right? Right. And he operates
on that belief.
On like,
that faith. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I've learned a lot to just like stepping into it. And then you're like, okay, but it was all right. Nobody was killed.
Nobody died.
Animals were injured.
Right.
You know? Right. And so I've watched him just do that. And I've just watched him put in work with everything he said he wanted to do. Like everything he said he wanted to do, I've watched him like be disciplined and stay the course. And then it translates. And that's what I'm saying, is always a privilege.
So it's easy to support him. Because he comes very disciplined with everything that he says he's going to do.
And that's one of the reasons why I said she didn't fit in the first. I want to make sure she fit in the second, not just for space-wise, but because she was doing real estate. And that first house, it didn't have a private office space. I made sure the second one did because I knew that's what she would be doing. So I want to make sure she had an office. So if I'm going to somehow talk this woman into being with me and living with me, I want to make sure she's comfortable.
Yes.
So I've always, no matter what venture she's taken on, it was real estate, it was whatever, I always want to make sure I supported her in that. Because I mean, it's hard being in the military already. It's tough for spouses to always follow wherever their husband goes, or vice versa. You always got to go. There's no ifs, ands, or buts for the majority of it. So I just want to make sure and put her mind at ease. Even if they call me and say, hey, you got to go somewhere, this is your place. This is your space. You got everything you need just in case I leave. And that was big. So and I made sure huge. Too, as soon as she did move in, you know, we had our housewarming. All she thought of, we just having a housewarming party. She didn't know. And I already told a couple friends, inviting them over. But that was the day I was going to ask her to marry me too. And so we did. Yeah.
So you gave her that security from jump. And like she said, you made her a priority, which for women, that's huge. It's the consistency, making us a priority,
Mhm.
and giving us that security, right?
Yeah.
That's major, right? Because a lot of men just don't understand, like, that's what we need. We need those things,
But
right?
it was very foreign to me. Like I
That
felt like
part,
I felt it was that felt very foreign, if that makes sense. For you to know somebody, you've known them for a very long time, but then you meet them and you're dating them and you're in relationship, and the relationship is still early on, right? And you're making lifetime commitments with a person that you're dating.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So that felt very foreign to me. Like, ain't no way this man about to go and get this other house. Ain't no way. Everything with my head was ain't no way. You know? And so you could say and pray for what you think you want, but when you get it, how do you treat it? So
just because you pray for it doesn't mean you're ready for it.
Right.
And if you're praying for it, make sure you're ready for it.
Yes,
because then you get blessed with it and you mess it up, and then what?
Yeah, and not self-sabotage and not let the thoughts in your head dictate your behavior. Not
let your past dictate
all of that.
What you're doing with your current.
Yeah, seriously. It's a lesson. That's a lesson every day. You have to apply for yourself. Even
now.
Absolutely.
Even now, 11 years in.
Yeah, even when I get super mad or I'm agitated and I'm watching him sleep.
With that one.
I'm watching him sleep. Sometimes he wake up, I'm standing over him.
Hi, good morning.
Just want you to know, I pray for you.
Yeah.
You have to remember he's a soul. Like even in the middle of it, I'm like, oh, he a soul, Jesus. He a soul.
He's your child,
He's
Lord.
your child, Jesus. Okay. Let me pick my battles. And that's because we tend to want to, you see me, hear me, clap back. Gotta get in the last word.
I want to be heard.
Yeah.
I want you to, do you understand? You understand? You know what I'm saying? We want to be understood in the moment of that argument.
Yeah. He used to get mad and be like, I just need a moment. I'm following him. What you, hey, open his door.
A moment. Open his door.
Open his door.
Knock, knock.
Yeah. But so you're like, man, what is that? Selena, why are you doing this?
Give that man a moment.
Yeah,
but that's a learned behavior,
honey.
You have to learn to be able to allow the other person, if that's not your right, because it depends on where you come from, right?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of it has to do, and if that's not your thing, because I know that's something I have to learn to let it go for right now, and then we come back. But we have to circle back, because a lot of times people want to let it go and never circle back. I don't like that.
That part, but acknowledge like one thing he does is like, I don't want you thinking that we don't still need to address or I forgot what happened yesterday. And then for me, sometimes I'm like, how mad was I?
The moment is over now.
Like, what was I really mad because of, you have to check your own self too. So that to me is I try to stay in a space of reflection, self-reflection.
And that's the thing for me when, you look at, especially with now living in the world and all these influences that you have around it, what you should or should not be, how you should stand in the world, how you should not stand in the world. I always find it very important to, if I'm feeling a certain way, say it, express it, and it's okay. But we grow up, being told, especially as Black men, oh, you got to be tough. Oh, a man doesn't do that. A man doesn't cry. All these other things. And I'm not afraid to, in front of her, show my emotions. That's what it is. I mean, I don't care how people think I may be lame in that sense, but in reality, for me is, and I say this over and over again, I always tell my son the same thing. None of us, you, me, anybody, none of us is here unless a woman decide to give us life. Who am I to be disrespectful of who you are as a woman first? You make this life for everybody, the whole world. So I've always looked at that first. So I always catch myself. I'm not the type of person to go off and call you out your name and this. No, we don't have to do all that.
Right.
Now, do I raise my voice? We all have emotions that we want to express, especially if we think or assume we're not being heard.
Right.
But I'm also at the same time vulnerable enough to back down, look you in the eye and say, that was me. I messed up. I apologize. I'm sorry. You know, especially when you start realizing you remember and you tell yourself, especially not saying the work that I did with the home and everything. I don't want kudos. It's just the fact that, you know what? I chose you.
Yeah.
I chose you. Therefore, I'm going to treat you with the respect that you deserve. First, as a woman. Secondly, as a man growing up in this world, how I could be, you know, one of them thug dudes, whatever, and not even care, but I do. And so because I chose you, I'm going to show you why I chose you. I'm going to get the respect I think you deserve. You know, because if, you know, yes, you had to say yes to be here, but it does. It took me as a man to choose you, and I'm going to show you that respect because I chose you. And that's what I think sometimes in today's society, people kind of look on the outside and they let the outside dictate how they're supposed to treat their woman. And that's not it. Our marriage is what we make it.
Yes.
Good, bad, or ugly is what we make it. And, I always tell it, so it's okay to feel a certain way, you know, be vulnerable in this, be vulnerable in that. Like I'm wrong when I can be. I know I'm cool. And I'm a Marine, yeah, all this other stuff. But when it's time to be sensitive, I'll be sensitive. Doesn't bother me, you know. You know, if I gotta let a tear go, let a tear go. You know, if I gotta cry, color purple cry.
Not color purple, baby.
Everybody,
but I like it.
Purple.
That ugly cry. I like that.
Yeah, that's ugly. That's that moment when God trying to tell you something, and they start doing the. Yeah, if you ain't cried at that movie, something wrong with it. Oh yeah,
you ain't got no song.
But that's just showing I can be that for her. Now it doesn't affect me in the world with my other friends too. They, you know, that's just who I am.
But I like that because I've never understood not being able to be vulnerable with the person that you chose to spend the rest of your life with. Because if you can't be vulnerable out of everybody, out of the entire world with that one person, then what are we doing? Yeah. What are we doing? Yeah. I've never understood
that. It's conditioning though. Especially like when women meet, especially, you know, you're my friend, sister. I mean, we share a birthday, right?
We're twins.
And I've never met anybody that share the same birthday. So I was just like, we've already told our children, if you guys choose to not be friends, I'm still going to be friends with you. So I hope it work out for both of you.
Right. But you're going to see each other.
Y'all going to see each other. So y'all figure it out.
Right.
But especially the later you are in life, when you try to come together with someone, women we're just conditioned, you know, a badge of honor. That's why you have Black women with aneurysms, high blood pressure, falling out, all of that. We're so conditioned to like, you know, try to get everything done and carry, you know, Harriet led everybody. We still leading people. Yeah. Right. So, but you have to learn how to articulate what you need. Yeah. Because I am just now, as long as we've been together, double-digit years, not just being married, but dating and knowing each other, I still struggle with, I can't get his school supplies. I just don't have time to do that today. Could you do that? Like, all I got to do is ask. It's not that he doesn't want to, but if I don't say what I need, he's not going to know. And then I can't be mad because I'm like, man, I got to do everything. Yeah. But we're so conditioned to like, I take care of that. You know, you're doing it, but you're resenting doing it because he up there talking about, when I get home, I'm gonna drink my water. You go work out. I'm be like, work out? I can't work out. I ain't got to talk about these food supplies. You know, I'm like, you know, in my mind. Yeah. Right. Yeah, so I've had to learn to articulate, like just even putting together our son's birthday party. Like, I couldn't do that. Can you do that? And he'd be like, yeah. I'd be like, that's all I had to do was ask. You know, it's a conditioning because you could be married but still have a single mindset. Absolutely. That's a good one. And I've had to learn, like, girl, he a whole person that want to support you. Yeah. You stop giving him a pass because he don't want the pass. I have to articulate what I need. I like that. And I feel like I'm going to struggle with that just because I have been single as a single mom for 8 years now, or 9 tomorrow, right? Yeah. So 9 years now, I feel like I have to do it all. Right? You don't. And but I do. In the household, it's just me and her. So if I don't do it, it doesn't get done. Right? I'm going to be so excited when I'm able to pass the baton. I just don't know if I'm going to be able to pass the baton. Does that make sense? You have to be intentional. It's going to have to be something that I just have to really, be intentional on and just be like, okay, now you have help. Ask, you know? But I'm so used to doing it all on my own. Yeah, and everything's not gonna be on your timeline. And he can be patient with me. Like at times I'm like, well, let's go talk to I talked to our son about this, blah, 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 blah. And 25 minutes later, I'm like, so when you gonna talk to him? He's like, tomorrow. We have time. Like, it's not the sky isn't falling.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to, like, everything is not gonna be on your timeline either.
Mm-hmm.
You just need to know if it's gonna get done, right?
Right.
So,
and trust that if he said he's gonna do it, it's gonna be done.
Yeah. So it's a whole
Baby,
it's a whole mental mental
struggle.
around the thing and the stuff and the
Mm-hmm.
you know how we are.
Mhm.
We're like we're Leo,
Boom, boom,
so
boom,
we're
boom, boom.
like,
Yeah.
here go the list for the list.
Right.
Once you got 3 or 4, I'll take 2 and 5.
Right. Right.
You know, and they be like, you know what your list? I'm texting. You know what your list?
Right.
You know, and
Right. Did you get the list? Did you read the list?
yeah, you know, and you always want those confirmation.
mhm.
Like, man, I should have did it myself because even though.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just saying, you have to be super intentional about
Even
that.
now, even
my
11
God.
years in,
Girl.
it's because when they say it never stops,
Mm-hmm.
it really never stops. You're always working at it. Is that?
Mhm.
Would you
Oh my God.
say that's correct?
Yeah.
I would say because 11 years is the marriage piece. 16 years, almost 16
Dated.
years is the time that we've been together, and it is. I mean, it's a daily thing. And you have it's a roller coaster ride.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? You have your good days, you have your bad days, but it's just it's just different at times. I mean, because like what she said with the time frame is even when it's coming now because we have our son, we got to race him. You know,
Mhm.
we came up differently. You know,
Mhm.
I've learned a lot of things early in life that I didn't want to learn, but I was forced to learn. Her lifestyle is a little bit different. You know, her mom was always there and so forth, and always gave that support, her dad included. You know, I really didn't have that in my life, so I had to flip script. So I'm gonna change history my way. So even when like Ray J may do something and he's in trouble, she's like, "Oh, we got such and such."
Mhm.
And I'm like, you know what? I went down like she said. I'm gonna talk to him later. The reason why I'm doing that is because I want to make sure I'm calm
Mm.
because I know what it feels like to be a little boy
Mhm.
and not have someone there to encourage you and lift you up, tell you when you're wrong,
Mhm.
but lift you back up in the process. So I have to find that space sometimes so I can go in there and talk to him man to man. I always tell him that. We have a conversation. It's not, hey, I'm your daddy. It's, hey, man to man, come here real quick. Sit down. Let's talk. I want him.
I like
I always
that.
want him to be comfortable enough to look at me and say, hey, Dad, this is what's going on. How do I handle this? And then we can just talk about it. And because I've been through those experiences early on in my life, like I said, which I didn't want to, but hey, they happen for a reason. Because now I get to share some of those things with my son so he can understand where Daddy's coming from and why I'm telling you do it this way,
Right.
not do it that way.
Right.
Yeah.
So y'all are very different. You know, she's rat-a-tat-tat, and then and then you're the calm zen.
You
know
Girl,
what I'm saying?
please. Now, let me
I said what I said.
No, let me tell you something.
Yeah.
That's the
He
rat-a-tat-tat.
fake. That's fake.
That's
People think he chill.
He's
but he's
chill.
very no. He's very particular. He's very particular.
I can. Yeah.
He's very, and I don't mean that in a bad way. He's very disciplined. He's very particular. He's what count as these sheets?
100 threads.
Yeah.
Wait, what is it?
Yeah,
700 threads.
What is it? Because you be like, man, go buy the sheets then. If I, like I've had to. Like, ain't good enough. You don't want this biscuit.
How many threads you want?
You don't want this biscuit.
Not you want this biscuit.
You
You
know.
wanted to roll?
Yeah,
Is that what you want?
So he chill. People think, oh, he's so chill because he's the most civilian Marine you will ever meet in your life. Like he's retired, but like he's very disciplined. He has to discipline.
Mm-hmm.
And so this is like, so he's a fake extrovert. Like he'll look like he with the people, but he be in his head.
Mm-hmm.
Like when he gets anxious, he walk around the house like George Jefferson, like somebody chasing him.
Mm-hmm.
Like when he ready to go, like he don't like to be late for nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Like we go to a concert, we there with the staff.
Okay.
You
opening the doors.
Opening the doors,
I'm
greeting
helping set up
people,
speakers.
setting up
Okay.
speakers.
Yeah. Okay.
Because he want to get them.
I want to hear first note.
Okay.
If I pay that good money, yep.
No, we there with the staff.
Okay.
They be putting on their stuff in the parking lot. We coming up with clicking
Hi.
ideas too.
Hi.
Like, and you be like, it's always, and everything's a surprise. I won't get there early. No kidding. No kidding. Surprise.
Right.
People know, we can be going to the same place. You can't ride because we're going to get there early. We're going
Right.
to leave it
I'll
early.
meet you. Yeah, I'm gonna meet you.
Just meet me there.
Right.
So, You have to. It's a process,
Right.
right? Because it creates anxiety.
Right.
And so I try to be mindful of what creates anxiety. Like we be like, we leaving at this time. I make sure I'm ready sitting on the couch with my shoes on my lap.
But I love that though.
Say I'm making you late.
Right. And I
was right
like
here.
that. I like that you know that about him. And so you do what you need to do to
Not
alleviate that.
Yeah.
Right?
Not escalate that. When he say he gonna talk to our son, I just go in the other room, close the door. I'm not down there trying to hear, because that's their bonding. That's their time.
Right.
And there's conversations that little boys need to have with their dads in a safe place that I cannot offer.
Right.
I can be there to support.
That's it.
Because he loves them just as much as I do.
So going back, because I like how I still feel like you rat-a-tat-tat, okay? You gonna give the razzle-dazzle, and he's gonna be the calm one, but not saying that you can't get there. Not saying you can't get with it. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying I think you kind of think it through a little bit more, you know what I'm saying, and approach it a little differently. Whereas Miss Razzle-Dazzle here, you know what I'm saying, going hot and heavy, you know what I'm saying? But it's a nice balance though, right? Because you offer what she doesn't have and she offers what you don't have, right? And I think everybody has their strengths and y'all play on that. And I think that's dope. Me personally, it's okay to razzle-dazzle, okay? You a Leo.
That's because
we razzle-dazzle. I'm the razzle-dazzle.
I is you and you is me.
You're right. So I think that's pretty dope. Okay. What is the is it 10 years that you're supposed to what is the milestones? I don't even know the milestones because I ain't there. But is it when you supposed to do the when's the big things where you get all the big presents again for
the renewal vows? Or, it's supposed to have been 10 for a lot of folks.
And then it's like 15 is the next
15,
one?
20. I don't
like
play
that.
At 10, we was building a patio.
Not building and it's a nice patio.
I'm like, we ain't gotta go nowhere.
I will tell you my reality. This is me.
Yeah.
And I know what she may or may not want. I don't want to take away from her feelings, but I'm not. And we talk about this. I'm not in love with society's rules of what my marriage should look like. Or what it should be. So even throughout the year, we had to learn, or she had to learn. I don't say we, because I guess she had to learn me in a sense. Was that even when you start talking about all this stuff, okay, on this particular day we need to do this, and then this day we need to do this. I'm like, no, we need to do us every day. That's it. I don't have to conform to what they say or you should be doing this. Like I'm not in love with all the extra holidays.
He not in love with Hallmark.
I'm not in love with holidays. Period. I will celebrate you on the day that God made you, and I will celebrate you the day that God brought us together.
Okay.
That's all I need throughout even on my birthday, I don't expect anything. I don't want nothing. All I want is a presence of friends and family if they could make it. And we just sit down, relax, we chill, listen to music. I'm having a good time. That's the memories I like to make. Okay. Gifts can go and they'll fade away. I'm not into, I got to make sure she has flowers and this and that on third on Valentine's and turn around. Even, May is my birthday. But it's also Mother's Day. So if this year was Mother's Day was on the 14th, my birthday on the 15th. So would it have made sense for me to go out and buy a whole bunch of gifts on Sunday just for her to turn around and buy me gifts on Monday? Because then all we're doing is exchanging funds. Oh, okay. In my eyes, that's how I look at it logically per se. So it's always. But again, But
he did give me something Mother's Day.
I did get something, and I make sure I see. So I don't get it twisted. I make sure the expression of and appreciating your mother is passed down to Reggie. I make sure he knows that this is what you're going to do. Appreciate your mother for who she is. Because it's, and even though I know it's a made up holiday, but I get it. That's our a token of appreciation for, hey, mother, thank you for doing this for me. But I just don't fall into too much of those norms. I think I lost the question where we were trying to go.
I don't know. But I like to.
I pointed that out.
But I'm a holiday person. Okay. I like holidays. Yeah. I like Christmas. She
decorates for Christmas the whole night.
Yeah.
Look, my job, get the tree out the attic.
That's it.
And all of the stuff that's in stores, set it down, and I put the tree up. Okay. And boom.
That's it.
Everything else, decoration, all that, that's all
trying
on
to
her.
find a black Santa.
Yeah, she's doing the whole nine. I'm not into,
JC Penney's.
Yeah.
They have stuff every year. No, I see, and I like that. We don't ever talk about the holiday thing, right? Because there's a lot of men that are not into holidays like that. They're not even into their own birthdays.
Right.
And there's a lot of women, and we're just like, yeah, we eat it all up, right? I'm one of those that eats it up. I like Christmas. I like New Year's. I like my birthday. I like all of them. I like Cinco de Mayo. I don't even, you know what I'm saying? Like,
ain't nothing wrong with a taco and a margarita.
President's Day. I mean, you name it, I like it.
I like it for time off.
That part.
I like
you know
it for that, but outside
I be taking all too. Offices calls.
Right.
I don't even do nothing.
Right.
Yeah. But one thing that I think the balance is, although something may not be important to you, if the person you're with like they have value in it, or is a token, or they feel a certain kind of way about it, it's also, he is like stretched himself to like do things, acknowledge it, because it's like, it's important to me.
To you.
You know, it's not important like, you know, we about to start flipping chairs, but at the end of the day, it's like, as mothers to me, it ain't no days off. You don't get no breaks.
Right.
Like, you're constantly remember thinking about the next thing you have to do. And I mean, just because you have children, I mean, you're a mother, right?
Right.
And so it's just always very important to me that our son feels loved, secure, supported, that I try to anticipate the things he needs. And, you know, his dad the same, but, you know, we're just very, you know, the list for the list.
Yeah.
You know, okay, we gotta leave at this time. He probably gonna want to eat by this time. Let me make sure I go ahead and
Right.
You know, that's, I mean,
Feed him,
we
get
think
him,
about things that
Yeah.
it's not that men are not capable. It's just that, you know,
They just don't.
you know, we just try to support each other.
Yeah.
But so yeah, so like he stressed himself, you know, he's like, man, this is a fake house. I love you, boo.
It is.
Happy Valentine's Day.
The lights is still on. The mortgage is paid.
Yeah.
I mean, we taking care of it. We presents.
That's Christmas every day, huh?
I
That's
mean,
Christmas
for
every
me,
day.
and I like I said, my biggest thing, I don't care. I always tell her this. I don't care about anybody bringing me a present. Just be present.
And he really
Just be
doesn't
Be
present.
like.
present. If I reach out and I need
really
you, I like stuff like that. I like being just surrounded by, because those memories you can't get back. You never know when's the last time you're gonna see somebody.
You're right.
So I dive into that more than just anything, because I know it takes thought to go out and buy a gift, but I just don't need that. Just show me some love every now and again. I'll try to give it back to you when it's sometimes your birthday. But I don't want to do, hey, I bought you something, buy me something.
Did
He
you buy
doesn't
me?
make
Yeah.
people feel
I just-
obligated. Like,
No,
he
I
really,
don't
like,
want-
he's not one of those people, like, when some people are like, oh, you have to give me nothing, but they're like,
please,
yeah, you
yeah.
had to give me something.
Mhm.
He really, like, he doesn't carry that. He rather you just be here. We play this game of Uno. We share some laughs. That is really
What he's about.
what he's about. Like,
Mhm.
you just,
When you come from a space of nothing,
That part.
you learn to live with what you have, and I'm grateful for what I got. I built this surrounded myself with my wife, my son. I built this life that I wanted, and I got it, and that's all I need. I'm not,
now where he needs some work is, he needs to, because he's had a hard life. He doesn't know, like, my theory is Jesus got 3 gifts for Christmas. Son, you just gonna get 3 gifts. He'd be like, well, you know, I was thinking about getting a bike or this or that. I'd be like, well, what I'm gonna get him? Because I mean, here I come with my little box, and he rolling the bike around. Is that a Mercedes?
What is this? What is that? What a rap?
What is it, rap? You know? And so he be looking like Santa Claus, and I be looking like Scrooge.
Just stingy.
And then I tell her that she
I'll be over
don't.
like this.
I tell her that she don't, because sometimes when they go shopping together, he always come home with something. I have to remind you, done bought him stuff all year long. As soon as y'all go shopping, he be wanting something. You be, okay, baby. Oh, so she's good. We're good. It works.
I said what I said.
You said what it said. Okay. Okay. Well, I love that. I love the dynamic between you guys. I love the fact that you are transparent about the fact that you're still a work in progress, right? Like, this is not something that just, okay, we perfected it. That's it. Nothing else needs to be done. You know, I love the fact that you guys are honest about not only where you're at now, but where you came from, right? And everything that it took to get here. And I love how y'all are with Ray J, with your son. You know, it shows that you guys have done the work and are doing the work, you know? So I commend you for that, because again, you know, y'all ain't been out here in these streets, but it's raggedy. That deep sigh.
Yeah.
It's raggedy. And people just don't have the same values anymore. You know, and so it's just hard. What I thought it was going to be easier as I got older to date because we were all mature.
But that doesn't mean wise.
It doesn't also mean mature. So there's so there's that. I had to find that out. So no, it's refreshing to hear and it's refreshing to see this, you know, and so I love it. I love it. And thank you for being on my show.
Absolutely. Can I leave one thought though?
Please leave a thought. Leave a few.
We always look at this cliche thing and, you know, we always tell everybody, okay, you know, make this is what, you know, your life is whatever. It's just going to be what you all make it. Right. And that's easy to say, but like you said, it is work. So no different from me. And this is my thoughts, everyone else. As quick as we are to say, do not let social media and internet raise your kids. Do not let social media and internet raise you in your marriage.
Yes.
You put in the work. You do what you need to do, what works for you and yours, and don't let those outside influences dictate how you treat one another or how you should treat one another. Your love works for you, and all the outside, keep them on the outside. You can invite them in to participate and, like, as far as enjoy conversation with you, but never let anyone outside or social media tell you how you should not be living in your marriage, in your life, and how you and your family operate.
I love that.
It's your moral compass.
Because you said somebody's age. No matter how old we are, we're still being raised ourselves.
Absolutely.
World changes every day.
Absolutely. And you're supposed to be growing every day.
Yeah, absolutely.
Whether you're a single person, whether you're in a relationship, you're supposed to be growing every day. No, you're absolutely right. Social media, as much as people want to downplay social media
I know
influences a lot of people.
A blessing and a curse.
It is, and and a lot of people take that as Bible, you know, and they listen to what they said that you're supposed to be, you know, you ain't supposed to be spoiling the girl you with, because that's not, you know, because then you're gonna be a simp.
Yep, it's about the algorithm.
I like to be spoiled.
Yeah, it's
and
all
men do
about
too.
the algorithm.
And that's probably why men spoil their women, because they already being spoiled.
Yeah.
So give and take.
Yeah.
That's what it's about.
Yeah.
Love it.
I love that little tidbit. Thank you for that, sir. I appreciate you. So, shout outs, anything you want to let the people know to follow you on, any projects you're working on, talk to the folks and let them know how they can support you.
Okay. Yeah. You want to go first, babe?
Quickly, Bree and I, we're cross collaborating on trying to release a book, a similar time frame. We're always 2 steps away, right? So we'll be coming out with a STEM book for African American boys and girls. So it's they make up less than 2% of technology roles, and a lot of it is because of lack of exposure. I've been in technology since like 1998, so I just want to really
That's when I graduated high school.
Okay, that's your business. I'm older, and I'm older. And so that's the new project I'm working on. And as you know, our son, he's working on his second book. So
on his second book, y'all heard that? Second. Okay. And he's 10. Just so y'all.
Yeah.
So I'm behind.
Proud of.
I'm behind, baby.
We together. And then Ray.
I myself, I've been away from it for a while, but I will be getting back to it soon, doing my own podcast.
Yes.
It's called The Red Boy Radio Show. And I guess we'll post it here later, but I'm doing that. I'm also getting into DJing. So soon I will have my name way out there to do some DJing. I'm more of an old school type DJ. So all the ratchetness, and you might get 2 seconds of, but that ain't me. I'm an old school soul. So that's what I do the most of, but I'm looking forward to getting back to that. And that's what's going on. And I'll maybe have a clip in a movie next year. I'll let everybody know.
Come on.
So, yeah.
Superstar?
Just trying to do
with the Hollywood star? Come on, man.
Stretching himself, honey. They had him in the kitchen. They had him in the kitchen, and that's a foreign concept for him. And stretching himself.
I like that. Coming out your comfort zone to do the role. You know what I'm saying? I like it. So what Red Boy is not telling you guys is that he is the official DJ of Dear Future Husband. So you will be, you know what I'm saying, seeing some more of him for sure. And then, now that you done dropped the T, Dear Future Husband will also be having a book at some point.
Cool.
in time.
Cool.
Coming soon. As soon as I finish it.
This year.
Thank you. Thank you.
This year. For the receipts. This year.
For the receipts. You know what I'm saying? So, no, but thank y'all so much for coming through. Thank y'all for being my guest. Thank you for this amazing, amazing interview and letting us into your lives. And for those watching, make sure that you get on YouTube, okay? You follow Reality TV 1, y'all. It's Reality TV 1. And make sure you subscribe to that. I said follow. Subscribe to it. You know, like, comment, share with your friends, your mama, your daddy, and them. Make sure that you support. Is there a Facebook or YouTube or Instagram?
I also have a YouTube channel called The Red Boy Radio Show as well. Red Boy is spelled R-E-D-B-O-I.
Mm-hmm.
Radio is spelled R-A-Y for my name, D-I-O. So it's
like
the Red
that.
Boy Radio Show.
I like that.
Like
So
as well.
subscribe to him, Red Boy Radio Show. You'll be seeing a lot more of him. Subscribe to Reality TV 1, y'all. And we will see you soon. Bye, y'all. Thanks for tuning in.
Hey.